water, a quarter of a gallon of water. And I didn't get to finish it this morning because I'm live with you on Clubhouse and on Twitch. So good morning, morning to you. All the way from Las Vegas and Vivo. We are in Vivo from Las Vegas. Are you liking the red pocket square today? I am. I'm kind of liking that swag too, how it's just hanging the way that it is. I'm going to fix that in a second. You know what OCD can do. My name is Uch. It's a pleasure being here with you. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here, happy to talk with you. What are we talking about today here with you? Well, you know that we talk about the markets with you live on Clubhouse, with you live on Twitch. So that's what we're doing today. And so many people have been asking me about a specific coin that I want to talk to you about today. Yes, DogeCoin. I'm slightly annoyed that I'm talking about this today for the record. And you might be saying, well, why are you annoyed, Ooch? Everybody loves Doge. Everybody's doing it. Well, here's the thing. Elon Musk, who obviously runs Tesla and SpaceX, has been pumping Dogecoin, and he's been definitely putting it out there to a large degree. And because whatever Elon Musk does, whatever you see Elon Musk do, you see a whole bunch of people jump on the wave. Well, you're seeing a lot of people love Doge. And Dogecoin, for all intents and purposes, is doing very, very well in the crypto markets, that is. So yeah, with all that said, you're like, well, then why are you annoyed about talking about it? Well, it's Dogecoin, if you don't know, it's a meme coin, essentially. And when I saw this text message yesterday, let's see what my buddy Ray had to say. He asks me regular questions about cryptocurrency. And you know what I tell Ray? Actually, what I'm going to tell Ray right now, live in front of you, because this is all his text messages, I'm going to say, hey, Ray, glad you're happy and excited about crypto. You know, I have a course and I teach about this, right? Question mark, question mark. And then I'm going to send him a link so that he and I can talk on Zoom. So here we go with Bitcoin Talk, which is the link that I send out off of my Calendly. You can see that. Okay, Bitcoin Talk. Say, here, Ray, you can set a day and time here. Colon, paste, link, sent. And we are happy today. Yes. We are happy to let Ray know about exactly what's happening in the cryptocurrency market, as I am with you. I'm also live on Twitch with you, as you know. And shout outs to you if you're watching our restream on YouTube. So here's the thing with Dogecoin. It was started as a meme. It's essentially a meme coin. There's no seriousness behind this coin whatsoever. So when you see people like Elon Musk pump Dogecoin, for me, it makes me incredibly bearish because it's just kind of silly season. And when you have coins like Dogecoin being pumped up, it's just, it's just not a good look for the space, because when you have cryptocurrencies, different cryptocurrencies, you are talking about them in the respect that they're something legitimate. They have a legitimate use case. They have a legitimate um, project behind it. You and I talked about Power Ledger just a couple of shows ago, if not last show. And I was talking to you about how incredible the project is. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm talking about with you. When you're looking for a coin in cryptocurrency, when you are looking for a coin in cryptocurrency, you want to look for something that actually has a use case. I teach you this in my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. You can sign up for my course. So you want something that has a use case. You want something with legs, because if you're putting your money into something, you want it to not necessarily be a gamble for you. You want it to be something for you that is going to be useful for you in the long term, meaning you have the coin, whether it goes to the moon and you can make a lot of money off of it, or whether it tanks and you can still have use case for the coin and its project. Well, there you go, right? That's where you want to be at with whatever you're picking up. DogeCoin, no use case. It is a meme coin. The developer of DogeCoin, who created it, I believe, in either 2012 or 2013, when you look at why the coin was created, he was basically creating a coin he wanted to dedicate to his dog. Let me repeat that for you. Dogecoin, Dogcoin, whatever you want to call it, was created by someone who wanted to create a coin where you could see it dedicated to his dog. That is what Dogecoin is. So when you have Ray, um, there was a Twitch streamer earlier this week that you saw do a twerk Tuesday. Shout outs to Steffi K. I was following her. I follow her on Twitch. You can follow her on Twitch too. She's one of the DJs here in Las Vegas. And she had this huge stream going on Tuesday, and they call it Twerk Tuesday if you ever check it out. And they just kept rating channel to channel to channel. And one DJ, her name is Party Like a Mother, which is an interesting DJ name, Party Like a Mother, and you can find her on Twitch here as well. Um, Definitely a really good looking woman, and played some really good beats, and also had a presence. I really liked how you saw her using the microphone and really engaging with the audience. Some Twitch streamers you see on here, especially DJs, you see them really good at that, and then you see some who aren't so good, and then you see some who don't talk at all. She had a really great presence. In fact, I think she actually would be really good for television. That said, um, I said something in the chat about sending Bitcoin, and she's like, "Oh, what's up with Bitcoin? Yeah, I'm into that. In fact, I bought a bunch of Dogecoin." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no." But you know what? She's not alone. She's amongst many people who've bought Dogecoin. Ooch, have you ever bought Dogecoin? Yes, I did. I did buy Dogecoin once upon a time back in 2017. So, am I a hypocrite for telling you everything I've told you? No, because when I bought Dogecoin, I knew it was a joke, you guys. I knew it was a joke. Now, why would you buy Dogecoin if you think it's a joke or you thought it was a joke? The reason I bought Dogecoin is because at the time, back in 2017, when I bought it, I found Dogecoin to be very, very useful in terms of sending money, transporting money. Now, Dogecoin at the time was less than a penny. And the Bitcoin network at the time, if you were on the Bitcoin network, you saw it move very, very slow. It was very like if you sent Bitcoin from one person to another, it might take, gosh, 20, 30 minutes. It's even taken as long as an hour for someone to actually receive their Bitcoin. So even more than that, I think even maybe like 2 or 3 hours it once took me, because the Bitcoin network wasn't where it's at now. You have many more miners now. The market and the space has matured 5 years. At the time, Bitcoin wasn't even, you saw it wasn't even 10 years old at the time. So it was just like, okay, here's this new thing that everybody's into now, or a lot of people are into, and you're seeing a lot of people try to use Bitcoin and trying to send you Bitcoin and trying to send me Bitcoin, trying to send Bitcoin for currency purposes or just trading purposes or whatever. And it would block up the network. It was almost like a highway or freeway where you saw a lot of cars and it was just blocked, like a log jam, like a traffic jam. So you saw that happen a lot in Bitcoin at the time. And when you were in a position like mine and you wanted to send money to others, it was like, okay, well, I don't want to wait 3 hours to make sure that you got the money that I sent you. What can I use that will be a lot faster? What has a faster network that's also cheap? I didn't want to necessarily buy a coin with a lot of volatility that was going to be expensive. So Dogecoin jumped in my head because it was, again, under a penny at the time, and you could send it off very, very easily. And I mean, it would get the recipient would get it within minutes, maybe a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes, but it was very, very quick. And again, it was under a penny. So I felt like, okay, I'm kind of buying this currency where you're not buying it for speculative purposes. You're buying it literally just to transfer money because you have a lot of different exchanges and brokers in the space use Dogecoin, because again, at that time, it would have been around for about 4 years. So it was kind of in that nucleus of coins that you can buy that everybody had access to, and a lot of people bought and sold back in 2017. In fact, what I did do, which makes me brother of the, might even make me brother of the millennia. I'm the oldest of seven siblings, and when 2017 happened and the big pump, and you got super into Bitcoin at the time, what do? You buy Bitcoin for your family, right? So I bought Bitcoin for my siblings. You know what else I bought for them? DogeCoin. So I bought Bitcoin and DogeCoin for them. And it really was just like, hey guys, here's something that you want to look into, something you want to hold your attention on just a bit, because this thing is going places, meaning cryptocurrency. And when you saw that at the time, to my family, it wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement of my presence to them that year. It's kind of like, oh, fake money that you can't see or touch. Thanks, bro. And I kind of took that on the chin because I knew, I was like, one day you're gonna thank me for this. And now you have everybody all up into Dogecoin, all up into Doge. So I'm gonna show you the chart for Dogecoin quickly. We're live on Clubhouse, live with you on Twitch as well. Shout outs to you. If you have any questions, by the way, just pump them in the chat. I want to know exactly what you're thinking out there. It ain't all about me, it's all about we. So you get in the chat right now. If you're a subscriber to this channel on Twitch, I will give you Bitcoin because I'm a giving guy, and I love to give. So thank you for being a subscriber. I want to send you some Bitcoin, so subscribe. If you're watching us right now on YouTube on the restream, hello to you. Pleasure to be here with you. If you're on Clubhouse, shout outs to you as well listening in. I know that Kiki, aka Nicole, was here to start us off for the show. So let's look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin. I can't even believe I'm showing you Dogecoin on a chart, but this is the times that we're in. Dogecoin against the US dollar. We'll look at that on the Bittrex. Bittrex, yes, we'll look at that on Bittrex. And yes, we're going to pull up the Doge chart. This is unbelievable. You have so many people asking, though. Like I showed you, my buddy Ray texted me about Doge. And I was just like, hey, take my course, man. And I'll tell you everything you need to know about cryptocurrency. So this is an old chart for Bittrex. It's only showing from July of 2020. So we're going to find an older chart because Doge has been around. Like I told you, Doge has been around for a minute. It's been around for years, almost 10 years now, Dogecoin, which is fascinating. So let's see, Dogecoin, maybe Binance. I don't really like the fact that it's against Tether on here, against Bitcoin, against USD, against Turkish lira. There's so many different options you have. I'm gonna do against Tether on Binance because I think you'll see a pretty lengthy chart, because that Bittrex chart, you couldn't see it on my end, but that Bittrex chart was only showing from like July 2020, and this one here is only showing from July 2019. So might be a challenge finding. You know what? There were Doge charts back then. I remember I used to look at Doge on the chart. So there's definitely a Doge chart from back in 2017. I'm looking for a Doge chart that's going to show me the money. I want to show you exactly how it's rolling here. So let's see. Who would have it? I know that there's a couple against Bitcoin. Don't want that necessarily. I'm looking for Doge against USD, but I want something from 2013. I think I'm going to give, maybe for you, I'll give maybe another one or two shots here, and then we'll just go for something more recent. Yeah, this chart here is only showing for the last 2 months. And hey, why is everybody just showing recent charts in Dogecoin? Because everybody wants to talk about Dogecoin now. That's why you're not seeing any recent charts on it, because some long-term charts on it you're not seeing, because yeah, I'm guessing everybody's jumping on the wave now. So let's see Doge against Bitcoin. Not a huge fan of looking at that, because I like looking at against USD. I know that is. I can't believe you said USD. I I can't believe you mark against fiat. Ooh, there's a lot of people in the space who they're not fans of that at all. They like marking against Bitcoin, which I completely understand. And yeah, for me, I like to just mark against USD these days. Sorry. So let's take a look. I'm not finding anything in terms of the long term chart. That said, you're seeing Dogecoin at all time highs now. And yeah, if you're watching this and you're wondering, should I buy Dogecoin, Ooch? Look, I'm just a guy in a suit. None of this is financial advice. For your financial advice, see your financial advisor. Seek out a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. You're just looking at a guy in a suit. That said, um, from my estimation, Dogecoin, is it a smart buy for the long term? Is it a smart buy in terms of Dogecoin becoming the new Bitcoin? In my opinion, no. I teach you in my course why you probably won't see Bitcoin replaced in the space. And if you do see it, it'll be something monumental. It'll like the equivalent of aliens coming down to Earth and it being on the front pages of the news. Like imagine you turning on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or ONN or OAN, whatever you watch, and the headline is aliens came down to Earth and their supreme leader had a chat with the United Nations. And like you see, right? You see the alien kind of walking around with the alien head. If you saw that on the front page of the news, you'd be like, well, looks like society is took a turn. The same thing for Bitcoin, right? If you see Bitcoin get usurped in the space, if you see a coin take over for Bitcoin in the space, meaning become the number one cryptocurrency beyond Bitcoin, that will be like aliens coming down to Earth and it being on the front page of your news. Okay, so that said, Dogecoin being a coin that you can see as beating Bitcoin one day, it would be like aliens coming down. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you. Is it impossible? No. Anything could happen. I'm not saying that aliens coming down and being on the front page of the news, that you'll never see it happen. That's not what I'm telling you. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say to you is the likelihood of it happening is not very high. And if you saw it happen, it would be, again, monumental. So I'm going to try Dogecoin here on the chart with Bittrex. And I know that that was the first thing I tried to show you. And it was for some reason just, I don't know if maybe they got rid of Dogecoin and they brought it back because for some reason they're not showing me going back to like 2017, which is a shame because I like seeing the price action for its history. Instead, it's just, it's being a bit of a bit of a bandwagon, just showing you since like July, which is like game mal, game mal, game mal. Live on Clubhouse, live on Twitch with you, showing you the chart for Dogecoin. Look at that chart. Now, you can't see any RSI information, no EMA information. And I teach you about RSI and EMAs in my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. Take my course, learn about this stuff. Be like Ray, be smart, and accrue your intelligence in crypto. So there's no information to show you in that regard. But that said, and this chart doesn't really tell you much. It doesn't really tell you much, to be honest. It's just goes straight across and then pops. But this is why you're seeing everybody excited because of these two things here. I would show you that it's completely overbought because it is, but you're not seeing the coins in the space, at least the brokers in the space, give you any love in terms of tradingview.com and having you look at the coin as a coin where you can look at its history, look at overbought, oversold conditions, kind of look at its trajectory. But again, it's 7 cents at the time of recording this for you. I'm not saying it won't go to 20 cents or 50 cents or whatnot. In fact, let's look at CoinMarketCap, coinmarketcap.com. I teach you this in my course as well. Here is where you can see all the different coins and know what the pricing is at. It shows you the different trajectories for different coins, the top 20, top 30, top 50 coins. You can also search just about any coin on here individually. And I believe kind of change this around. Binance, which is one of the top brokers here in crypto. Once you saw them buy it, they bought CoinMarketCap. They kind of changed things around, but you can look for different cryptocurrencies here as well. Ignore that Model 3 there. That right there is just an advertisement. So the number one crypto is Bitcoin. and that will remain until aliens come down and make the front page of your news. So Bitcoin is number one. You see Ethereum at number two. Ethereum's been doing amazing. XRP is at 5. Cardano's passed it. It's in 96 cents. Cardano's been doing amazing for the last, definitely the week. Look, it's up over 100% for the last week. Cardano, I remember when this was pennies, 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 like a couple of cents, and now it's about $1. A Polkadot, which I know nothing about, and I'll actually talk to you about it on a future show because I should know about it. It's number 6 in all of crypto. Binance Coin has been doing amazing. Again, that one also up over 100% over the last week. Let's go down to DogeCoin. So, yes, DogeCoin here. It's up 52% over the last week, down 7% today, showing it to you. So let's look at the market cap here. This is 9 billion. So for it to pass Bitcoin at the current levels, so Bitcoin is worth, well, Bitcoin's market cap you see is 885 billion. Yes. And the total market cap is, so that means it's close to $1 trillion Bitcoin on its own, which is, shout out to the Bitcoin bulls. I mean, what a year, what a year, what a year. This thing was $3,000 this time last year, $3,800 last March. Can you believe that? Can you believe that this was $3,800 last March? $3,800 last March. And you don't even want to know what the rest of this was last March. I mean, all of this was basically nil, nothing, zilch, zero. And now you've seen it gone up exponentially. So the way I teach my students, and I'll teach you this, for market cap, well, for a coin to kind of see where it can go in terms of today's present terms to get to the number one spot, that number one spot. So Bitcoin is around $900 billion in total market cap. Yes, yes. Okay. So you have DogeCoin, which is $9 billion in total market cap. Yes, yes. So the current price of Dogecoin is 7 cents. And since it's $9 billion and you're looking at Bitcoin, which is $885 billion, right? $900 billion. It basically needs to be multiplied by 100 Dogecoin here for it to beat Bitcoin and for aliens to come down and for you to see a new sheriff in town, meaning Dogecoin being the number one cryptocurrency. Okay, so that means 7 cents times 100 is $7. So if you were to see Dogecoin go to $7 overnight, or basically go to $7 while everything else in cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, of course, you'd see it just kind of go up incrementally. Well, then, and you saw it go to $7, and let's say Bitcoin stayed at like 40, 47,000, 50,000, and so on and so forth. If you saw that happen, if you saw Dogecoin go to $7 while Bitcoin remained around 47,000, maybe went down to 43,000, came up to 50,000 and stayed in that space, well then you would see Dogecoin surpass Bitcoin, which again for you is the equivalent of aliens coming down to Earth. Yes, and not only aliens coming down to Earth, but being on the front page of your news, right? And like, hey guys, aliens came. And their leader talked to the United Nations today, and we're going to see what we can cook up for our future together as humans and aliens. If you saw that happen, that is the equivalent of Dogecoin surpassing Bitcoin as the number one cryptocurrency. So 100x from here, because that's what it is right now. It's about 100, hundreds of billions of dollars less, and it would take 100 times over for Dogecoin to multiply to get to the top. So $7 Dogecoin. Could it happen? Anything can happen. Aliens can come down. It could happen. It's not something that can never happen ever. Am I looking for it to happen? Nope. Do I think it will happen? Nope. Will it happen? Who knows? Could happen. You might see it happen. You might not see it happen. But for me, is Dogecoin a good pickup? For me, it's always about, picking up and, I talk about manias and bubbles with you in my stock course. Join my stock course, yourbitcoinnow.com. And we talk about, in lesson 6, I teach you about manias and bubbles and how to profit off of mania or a bubble. And that said, you can profit off of a mania or bubble. There was a position that you could take during the craziness with GameStop. That was a smart way to handle it. And I teach you about that in my course about how to do that. So if you want to pick up Dogecoin for yourself and think that it's good for the long term, by all means. I'm not saying that it's not a good pickup. What I'm telling you is it's a meme coin with no use case at all. There's zero use for it. And you might be saying, well, there's zero use for Bitcoin. Sure. However, you're seeing a network, meaning the Bitcoin network, um, with a lot of history. You're seeing a lot of it. You're seeing it used the most out of every cryptocurrency, right? So you're not measuring necessarily crypto against the world. You're doing when you're buying different cryptocurrencies, you're measuring cryptos against cryptos because it is its own space, right? It's like, well, I could go buy copper, okay, or you could buy gold or silver, right? You can buy all three if you're going to go for precious metal and say I'm bullish on this precious metal and I want to hold a lot of it because when you see the whole world go insane and fiat currency falls to the ground, you want to be able to use your precious metal as payment. Well, in that case, you'd want gold and silver because you're more likely to have gold and silver accepted over copper, over some of the other precious metals that you'll see out there that maybe are more scarce, but not as many brokers, people, um, pawn shops, not as many you'll see accept them. And the same thing goes for you in the cryptocurrency space, right? You want to measure cryptos against cryptos. So for measuring Dogecoin against Bitcoin, Bitcoin has more history, bigger network. You have more institutions buying the actual currency as opposed to Dogecoin, which is again a meme coin. Shout out to Elon Musk. He's been not only pumping Dogecoin, he's been pumping Bitcoin too. You see that um, one of his companies, I think the Boring Company, either the Boring Company, Tesla, or one of his other companies, picked up $1.5 billion in cryptocurrency. In fact, I want to just Google that so I could talk with you about that briefly because I thought that was cool. Very bullish for the space. That doesn't change the fact that I'm bearish, at least in terms of a flash crash coming. I think you will see that. I think you will see Bitcoin go down to 20,000 or so um, because it's just super overbought at this point. Super overbought. So let's see. So Elon Musk, does he support Bitcoin? Yeah, Tesla bought 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, as you can see here in the screen I'm sharing with you. So yeah, so Tesla, shouts to Tesla, shouts to Elon Musk, super bullish on the space. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that Dogecoin is going to be worth a lot of money. So that's all I got to say about Doge. You can pick it up if you want to. It'll probably go up from here, to be honest. If you see Bitcoin continue to go up, which it will, I believe, into the six figures, then you'll see Dogecoin go up too. It'll probably double from where it's at now. It'll go from 7 cents to 14 cents, or maybe it'll go even further than that. So yeah, but at the same time, know that you're buying something with no use. There is no use for Dogecoin. There's no project. Nada. Zilch. Zero. It is a meme coin. The guy who started DogeCoin was just trying to basically, just do something in tribute to his dog. So, with that said, that's my talk of Dogecoin with you. I hope I was clear and cogent with you. We're live on Twitch right now, as we are every Monday and Thursday morning from 9 a.m. Pacific time, coming to you live from Las Vegas. That's me on a pole there. Yeah, on the California desert. I love that picture. I'm trying to move my hand. So why am I not moving my hand the right way? There we go. Why do I have to point like that? I gotta point like that in order for hey. Yeah, so that's me in a poll. Okay, so I'm coming to you live from Las Vegas, and let's talk about the stock market because we love the stock market, don't we? Yes, yes. You love the stock market. You know what I find funny about some people who love crypto and some people who love the stock market? Getting them to intermingle is like oil and water. It's like, have you ever been to a club? And of course, the DJ is asking you, have you ever been to a club? Have you ever been out dancing and there's many different types of music for the evening, and um, one group will only get up and dance to this one music, and then another group will only get up and dance to this other music. And when you see one get up, the other group gets and sits down. And when you see the music change, you see that one group get up and the other group sits down. Have you ever seen that before? Something I've seen many times as a DJ. And kind of with crypto and stock market, you kind of see the same thing, where it's just like crypto, oh, I ain't looking at that. Stock, oh, I ain't looking at that. And then you have me who's just like, hey guys. So yeah, I love both spaces. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? So let's look at the stock market, sharing my screen with you in the stock market. Yeah, seeing a couple of people checking on Twitch. Again, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat here on Twitch. And if you're a subscriber, you know what? I'll give you some Bitcoin. Yes, we're live every Monday and Thursday morning right here on Twitch, and we're live on Clubhouse. Shout outs to you if you're watching the restream on YouTube. So it looks like Google, woo, Google over 2 grand. Google's been doing some things over the last few days, I see. I've not been intently staring at the market the last few days. It's been a busy week. Snapchat well over 63. Disney heading for 190. Expedia at 147. Yes, Roku heading for 500. Netflix staying about even at about 555. When Resorts at 113. Procter & Gamble at 129. It's retracing some of its move. Procter & Gamble, it had a steady move up, and now it's down to 129. Kodak, 11 bucks. That's an interesting one. I think I'm going to do some options today because it is Thursday and the options close out Friday. That Baidu trade I did last week, I don't know if I talked with you about it last week, but that was not a winner for me. It happens. But we're going to look at what options we have today that are super expensive that we can sell for premium. And as they expire worthless, cha-ching. We're also going to look at GameStop options because you can do those on Robinhood. And I'm interested. So S&P 500 is down 11 points. You know, the S&P 500 is up over 3,900, well over 3,900. And I bought call strikes, 400 SPY call strikes last May. And the only reason I bought them was because I was like, none of this makes sense in the market, it going up, because you saw it crash in March of last year and then everything just came back super quick. And I was just like, well, I'm not going to buy any stocks because you're not seeing anything that makes any fundamental sense to me, but I will buy a call option on the S&P 500. So that will expire in March of 2021. So I bought that call strike, 400 SPY call strike with expiration March 19th, 2021. And oof, has that done well for me? And that's because, I mean, we're nearing 4 grand, right? Which is, will be 400 on SPY. I did sell the 399 calls recently for about $100 in premium. And I did that just to, because I only bought one call strike, right? I think the thing now is worth, I bought it for 39. It's worth now maybe about $400. So I sold the call strike just to, as insurance, that in case the strike expires worthless, that I will collect something, because I could just close the trade altogether now. Matter of fact, I'll open up, my brokerage account, and I'll show you exactly how much it is worth right now. Ahora mismo. Ahora. So let's see. So that call strike 307 is, well, it is worth 346. Yes? Yes, it's worth 346 right now. Right now. So I bought it for 39. It's worth 346 now. A total return of 784%. So I did good on that. Sometimes I wish I bought a lot more. Back in August, when you saw that crazy run up in the markets, that was like, whew. The thing was worth like, it was worth, I think, almost $1 grand at that point. Yeah, it was worth, I think it might have been over $1 grand. I think it was worth like $1,500. Just something insane. And that was because of all the exponential insanity you saw in the markets at the time. It was just bonkers what was happening in the markets in August of 2020. And then you saw a dip in September. and the call has leveled out since then. That said, I'm up pretty big on that, which I'm super thankful for. Thank you, God, for that. Um, so the question is where do you go from here? So SPY has been doing really, really well. The S&P 500, that is, and I'm seeing today that it's under that 3,900 level. It's actually 3,901 right now at the time of talking with you about it. Gold, which has been tanking, it's at 1825. Silver's at 2694. I'm selling actually SLV puts at the 25 level. So we'll see where that goes. WWE 46.97. That one was doing really well, and now it's crashed. It had a horrible earnings. Let's look at WWE real quick because my buddy actually told me he's a super Mark. When I say Mark, I mean somebody who you know is a huge fan of wrestling, professional wrestling, pro wrestling fan. He is, and when I saw, I saw a notification that WWE missed its earnings by 47%. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, I mean, look, we're in a global pandemic, Hooch. What do you expect? Well, completely give you that. Yes, you are correct in that you are in a global pandemic. So you got to give a little bit of leeway, right? Not when you're all of the people that you're seeing out there in the different spaces are beating earnings. So during earnings season, you saw this one beating earnings, that one beating earnings, this one beating earnings by 5%, this one beating earnings by 20%. All these different companies in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and the Dow and whatnot, all beating earnings. So I was like, oh, it's pretty healthy earnings season because I get these notifications on my phone. I teach you how to get those notifications too. Take my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. So with that said, I was like, I think everybody's doing pretty well until I saw WWE and their earnings. I was just like, whoa, not good, very not good. So yeah, so you saw just a couple of days ago, the end of January, it went up to $60, which is very, very bullish for them. They had a high of I believe that was their high over the last 52 days. Yep, $60. So that's showing you down here 52-week range. The high 60, the low 29.10. I believe that 29.10 you see is from back in March of 2020. And yeah, cataclysmic since then. It had a 7% down day on the 5th of February. And now it's just testing this Fibonacci support right here at about 45. So a pretty decent buy here, I think, considering that there's a fib there. Let's look at the weekly chart right quick. We're looking at the daily chart right now. So yeah, testing that 50-day moving average on the weekly. It was in a long-term bear market going back under that 50-day moving average for well over a year, and then finally coming above it. Let's look at the monthly chart for you. Monthly chart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As we check in, yeah, and again, bearish. It had a very bullish January, went from 48.37, closed at 56.33. So that's a nice little, it's a nice little about my math, about 20% there of a return. And so far for this month is down 17%, which is not good. So yeah, WWE, they got some work to do. They've had a tough go. I know that you saw them recently do a deal with Peacock Network, which is owned by NBC Universal, Comcast. And that deal is for Peacock to house all of WWE streaming. So very good for them. Muy bien, muy bien. That deal, you don't know the numbers on it specifically. The rumor is $500 million or something to that respect. I'm gonna just see what my buddy said. Actually, Ray texted back, said, "Ha, awesome, bro. I'll check it out when I get a minute." So that's proof right there. All you gotta do is reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place if you can. Yeah. So shout out to you, Ray, for being smart enough to hit me up. So yeah, we're gonna talk about WWE stock. Well, I'm just gonna find out. Let's see. So they did a deal rumored to be $1 billion for a 5-year contract, which is 200 million a year. I mean, that's a quick Billy, but I think WWE, had they been happier with the deal, would have been out there with it. You know, they would have been talking about it more, and the numbers would be out there for you and I to see. It would have been front page because it would have been like, "Ooh, look at this company investing a lot of money into WWE." But 200 million a year for all of your streaming content, it's not really that much if you ask me. Right? I think I don't know. If you were to ask me, I think they just did it just as a quick deal, just to kind of shore up their expenses. I don't know. That's a weird one to me, because again, you're housing all the content and you're being, you are the house. You are the house. Everybody has to come to you in order to get your stuff, and you would think that that would be the power position, right? And it is, right? So when you're selling off your streaming rights, you're selling off something that's huge. So you're only getting $1 billion for it for 5 years. I don't know. Far be it from me to outthink the WWE or Peacock or anyone of that respect. We've been talking about GameStop for a while. Let's see where this train wreck is at now. GameStop at 48.58. Oh, it just continues to tank. So at 48.58, 48.60 actually, at the time of recording this for you. Monthly, you see that the 50-day moving average is all the way down at 21. Let's look at the weekly. Yep, it's just testing that 12-day. Let's see the daily chart, or testing that 26-day. Actually, that's the red line. Red line. I used to see her at the red line. I don't even know if that's a song. I made that up. Got a red pocket square for you today. We're live on Twitch. Shout out to you watching us on YouTube. We're live on Clubhouse with you. Twitch.tv/DJ Ooch Music. Link in the description. Yes, for YouTube. I was going to say link in bio, but that's IG. If you have a question, just jump in the chat and ask away. I've got you. So yeah, GameStop here on the daily chart. It's broken bearish under the 50-day moving average. So the question is, what do you do here? I think selling the 40 strike puts, the 42, 43 puts is a pretty decent call. I don't know if you'd get anything for that. Well, I could check right now. I'll check it for you right now. The 43 puts. Are you going to get anything for that? Let's have a look. So looking at GameStop right quick. Stop that share for you right quick so you can see me. Hello, hi. Great to see you today. Hope you had an amazing week and hope you're having an amazing weekend to come. Definitely wish all of the blessings and love on you because you're beautiful and you deserve it. In case no one told you today, just told you that. So let's see GameStop, the mighty, mighty GameStop. The mighty, mighty game. He loved GameStop, mighty, mighty GameStop. Everywhere we go, people want to know. So let's see GameStop here. We're going to trade options on here, and we're going to take a look for you to see if these options are tradable and if they're worth anything. So let's see February 12th expiration you want to go for because that is tomorrow. I love selling. By the way, I teach you this in my options course, yourbitcoinnow.com. Yeah, I love selling options with a day to go and expiration. So let's see the 42, 43. I'm looking there at 70 cents, the puts. So they're not very expensive. And then, not really worth the time. You wouldn't sell them naked, of course. So you would do a put credit spread. And again, I teach you this in my options course, yourbitcoinnow.com. 43, I would sell them with the 42 puts so that the 42 puts are 58 cents. So the difference between 71 and 58 is 13. So it's only like $13 of premium for 87 of risk. Not a huge fan of that risk reward. If we go a little higher, let's take it higher and higher. And I have another look at the weekly chart. Our low for the week is 46.52. Let's see. 43 is where the 12 day is at. 43.71 actually. So we could sell the 44. Those are at 86 cents. The 43s are at 70 cents. So that'll give us 16, which isn't much better. You could go a little wider out with your strikes and sell the 85 and buy the 58. That would give you 27 in premium. So I'm not a huge fan of these here. Let's see if we could do some iron condors. I think I'm just gonna wait to look on my other broker for that because it's gets a little bit more complicated when you're looking on the little phone for these things. So yeah, but yeah, GameStop not doing great. Share my screen once again with you so you can see GameStop and what's happening here. Yes, so GameStop not doing great. And I told you it would not end well for many people. You know that there's people, you might be one of them, who bought GameStop at $450, at $500, because there's always a buyer and there's always a seller. And you have them now just wishing and hoping, please go back up, please. And you're not likely to see that. Sure, it might happen. Is it likely? No. So this is why I'm not a fan. But as we go. EXPI, will have a quick look at that. I've been talking to you about that the last few. The weekly chart is looking pretty bullish. Yes. However, this candle right here, big rejection from the 166 high. And yes, we have the all-time high. Well, we had a previous all-time high at about 156.72, which is why you see the Fibonacci start there. And yes, what we have here is weekly candle for this week that you're seeing here. And yeah, just a big rejection. When you look at this candle, the way that it's formed, I teach you this in my course too, by the way, yourbitcoinnow.com. I teach you how to look at these candles and know how to read them like they're words. So I can read these candles like they're words, basically. They all tell a story to you, and I can teach you how to read them like words, like a storybook. And that's how you know. That's what you may be like, how do you know where the price is going to go? Because I'm reading the candles, right? So this candle right here is telling me that things are looking grim, bearish, and that you might see. Let's see, it opened at 142.63. If you have a down day tomorrow, you'll see this candle be red, and that'll be a huge rejection. That means that you might see some consolidation going forward, which is in order because I mean this thing is way overbought. Not the most overbought it's ever been. That was back in August of 2020. That was 40 at a high of 42.79. I teach you about overbought and oversold conditions as well in my course. By the way, I wrote you a book, 10 ways for you to win the stock market. It will be out in a couple of days, probably by next week. Submitting it to Amazon today. It's my first book. It's an ebook, and I'm super excited to share it with you. Yeah, you'll have all that and more. In fact, I hope by Monday you'll be able to grab it because it'd be a great thing for me to share with you on Monday, my book launch. Yeah, I'm excited. My first book. So I also teach you about overbought and oversold conditions in my book. So it's not just with my course. You could also buy my book and you'll find out exactly what overbought and what oversold means and how you can identify it in order for you to profit. So yes, overbought and oversold. You see overbought right here. 166.47 is that high that it hit. I do have some position in EXPI. And you might be saying, why are you pumping your bags, man? You talk about this every day. Well, I just find it interesting because it's just been smashing it. I mean, 5% it's up today. The other day when I showed it to you, it was up like 11% that day. So don't you want to find things that are doing well? We talked about CRM also, which is Salesforce the other day. And that I do plan to pick up. Let's take a look at NEO, because that is a stock that many people love, 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 love. It's in the EV space, meaning electric vehicle space, and it's been very, very bullish. I mean, look at this insane moves it's been making. It's been overbought since August, and it's not looked back ever since. It was at only $20 back in August. You could have had it, and now it's at $60 today. Is NEO a pickup? I don't have any EV exposure right now, so maybe it is a pickup for me. Is it a pickup for you? I don't know. Looking at it now, I'm not a huge fan of buying in overbought conditions. Not a huge fan. Um, but I do it. I picked up EXPI in overbought conditions. Um, Speculative things like the EV space, it's tough for me, man. It's really tough for me to pick things up that I don't really believe in or get like that, you know. But I might just pick some Neo just to have that exposure, though it is very overbought. I kind of like if it retraces down to $52. I like Neo better. But a lot of people are talking about it. There's people in my golf club. You hear talking about it. You talk with just regular average Joe and Janes who have some exposure in the stock market. Neo is one of the first things they talk about, especially those who are millennials or Gen Z. Love Neo to bits. So there's two ways you can look at it. One, you can look at it like, well, the herd is going in that direction, so just go where the herd is going. Do yourself a favor. Don't try to be right. Just be profitable, right? Because for me in Tesla, it was like I never got it and I never bought it. And you saw people become millionaires and 100,000 just by believing it. And now you see where it's at. Elon Musk, richest in the world, you're seeing. And I didn't finally get into Tesla until September of last year. And it was only because it was like exasperation. I was like, all right, well, if you just see madness, why am I trying to be the smartest one in the room? Why? 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 Why not just make money? You know? So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up just chucking it and saying, I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. You got me now. Come on. And I wrote it from 432 to 650 or so and sold it off. And I was like, made my 50% return. See you later, folks. And it's now at $800. In fact, let's take a quick look at Tesla because I'm noticing the prices come down considerably. It was almost $900 recently. And look again, boom, boom, boom. Super overbought. It's crying to be down, back down and retrace, so it's not overbought. Well over the 12-day moving average, which is only at $500, and the thing's at 807. So the all-time high for Tesla is 880. You have people who bought it at 880 who are now down 10%. And this right here is a bearish candle. Forget exactly what you call this candle, but I do teach you this in my course, meaning how to identify it and look at it. Some of these different candle patterns have words to them, like they have titles for them that um, express exactly what they are. What you saw in GameStop, and what you saw in one of those WWE candles was tweezer bottoms, they call them. And again, I teach you about this in my course, so I'm not going to belabor or bore you today. Might be above your pay grade. $900 you saw Tesla hit in January of 2021, and now you're seeing it, turn red. So it didn't quite beat the high from last month, so that is pretty bullish. So this could just be, some consolidation ready to start. You see here that had a bunch of bullish candles. I mean, 5 bullish months and then 2 bearish months before it went on its next run. You might be seeing something similar. I'd love again for it to come back down to earth. I just feel more comfortable when these things are moving alongside of the moving averages. When you see them not moving alongside of the moving averages and kind of in their own space, going up to the moon, it scares me. It scares me just a little bit. It scares me just a little bit. So yeah, I'm just like, even though it's great if you're bullish, right? Amazing if you're bullish. So, but this right here looks bearish. If I were to guess, you would see. I don't know. Who knows with Tesla? It's hard to call, but I do know what I do know. This being so overbought, it is crying out to at least make a retracement. You see how it was overbought back in August, how it was just insane. Then it had those 2 bearish months, so the overbought conditions can kind of settle down a bit. It's crying to at least do that, right? So maybe you see, a bearish February and a bearish March. Not incredibly bearish, maybe just down to 748 or so. Would love to see it come down to these levels, around 600 again. Doesn't even have to stay there, just kind of like a bit of a flash crash, something to just retrace the move a bit, right? Because when you see it just that overbought, it's just kind of nuts. We got 4 minutes left for you here in the show. Clubhouse, we're rocking, yes, live from Las Vegas, and I'm live with you on Twitch right now. Shout out to you if you're watching on YouTube on the restream. Bienvenidos, buenos dias, buenas tardes, buena noche, for wherever you're at in the world. Let's take a quick look at Snapchat. Snapchat's been doing the ting lately. Overbought as well. My sister is a big fan of this. She's had Snapchat for a while, and she started buying Snapchat because our little cousins use Snapchat. Again, not rocket science behind that. And yeah, Snapchat has been doing really, really well ever since. So it started out back here. I mean, I've been trading Snapchat for a while. I remember when it was back here in the $5 range. Now it's at 62.83, doing really, really well. And yeah, it has a resistance 69.72. But again, these overbought conditions, ooh, baby, baby. It's just crying to retrace the move. Let's with that said, let's take a look at the S&P 500 and just see where we're at. We got about 3 minutes remaining in the show, so 3,900. And yeah, we're heading towards overbought on the S&P 500, which to me means we're either going to go through overbought conditions or we're going to go the other direction, meaning we're going to retrace some of the moves. So not quite amazingly high above the 12-day, but it does have 3 months of just solid to the moon stuff. I love when you see the candles just kind of ride the EMAs, just steadily growing. Because when you see them come up high, and this is back in like January 2020, what happens? It tanks. Over here, January 2018, it had a rough 2018 as a result of kind of all that craziness. Overbought back then too. Overbought September 2018, crying for a pullback. We had a recession, brief recession that you saw in 2020, and then we've had this exponential movement, move up. We had obviously had bearish March, and now we're heading towards overbought again. So, I mean, when you see things like that, it's like, do you close that position after all? I'm just kind of letting it ride. That call option that I bought. That's what I'm doing, letting it ride. But you're looking at the S&P 500 look pretty bullish. However, whenever things look like it's heading towards overbought, I get a little scared. So heading towards overbought January 2020, and then we tanked for obvious reasons, a global pandemic, and that. I don't know, just a guy in a suit looking at stuff, but there's a couple of things just to look at. You have a very frothy market. You are seeing a stock market that has just been buy anything, go like this and just pick, and you're up. That's the way that it seemed when you see things like GameStop and AMC and Wall Street bets become a thing. That is all the more reason to say that the market is just extra, extra frothy. And don't know if I'm a fan. Gotta say, I'm still looking for Bitcoin to retrace the move and go down to 20,000. I talked about that with you in a previous show. In fact, the last show. So go back and watch the last show here on Twitch or on YouTube. I want to thank you so much for being here with us. Of course, yourbitcoinnow.com if you want to learn how to read charts like this. I got you. I'll put it in English for you so you can speak Chinese to the world if it sounded like Chinese to you today and you don't speak that language. I want to thank you so much. God bless you for being here. I will see you on Twitch tomorrow because I'm DJing all weekend. Let There Be Disco is on at 2 p.m. Pacific. So with that, sayonara. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you here on Twitch. God bless and take care.